This conference will now be recorded.
See ya.
Sorry.
Can I get a motion to adjourn? Okay, not seeing that. Good evening, everyone. It is 7:30 p.m. This is the June 24th, 2021 work session of the Allendale Mayor and Council. Welcome to everyone who is joining us via video and teleconference. We ask that you please mute your devices at this time so as not to distract from the business of the meeting. There'll be several opportunities for the public to be heard tonight, and we will advise you at the appropriate times. We will start with Open Public Meeting Act announcement. Michelle, if you can please read that.
Sure. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. Meeting dates for the year confirmed at the annual meeting are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days of the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger.
Great. Michelle, please conduct the roll call.
Sure. Councilwoman Homan. She's here, but I think she's having technical difficulties.
No, yeah, we can't hear you, but she's waving. She's here.
Yeah. Yeah, she's Councilman O'Connell is absent. Councilman O'Toole.
Here.
Councilman Sasso.
Here.
Councilman Strouch.
Here.
Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Here.
And Mayor Bernstein.
Here. Thank you very much. Public comment, the first of 3 opportunities tonight for the public to comment. Anyone from the public wishing to speak, please state your name and address for the record. Not seeing anyone. I will close the meeting. This public comment. Agenda review. We will be considering for approval the minutes of March 25th, April 14th, and April 29th minutes. Councilman Sasso was absent from both April meetings. So Steve, you'll need to abstain from those, but you can vote in the other for the other minutes. There are 16 resolutions for approval tonight. I will quickly go through them. 21-166 is to authorize refunds for 2020 tax overpayments. This is a routine resolution to refund taxes from tax appeals. 21-167 is to authorize for hire for the police department part-time hourly dispatchers, Jared Chicazola and Kevin Montagna. Due to recent resignations, we're in the need of per diem dispatchers to fill the gaps. On behalf of the borough, I'd like to welcome Jared and Kevin and wish them good luck and success in their role. 21-168 authorized 2021 Crestwood Lake salaries, supplement number 2. Lake Manager Tom Viscardi has requested some additional gate people to add to the list to help out as needed, and this resolution approves his request for 2 more people. 21-169 is to authorize submission of the fiscal year FY22 municipal aid grant application and execution of a grant contract. The Borough of Allendale will be applying to the NJDOT's grant program for a 5th phase of the West Allendale Avenue Streetscape project. Special thank you to our grant writer, Joe DeFranco of Bruno Associates, and special project engineer, David Juzmeski of Neglia Engineering, along with our Director of Operations, Ron Kishner, for preparing this application. We hope to hear the decision in late 2021, 2022. Amy, is there anything you wanted to add to that?
Just that this is, we have a couple more phases after this, but this phase will go from probably from the AB&G up until the town clock. So that's going to be that side, and then we're going to finish the other side and then hit on DiMercurio. Okay. So it's an ongoing phase, and it's looking gorgeous. So it's going to be great when it's all done.
Great, thank you. 21-170 authorize emergency budget appropriation for the fire department. Our ladder truck is in need of emergency repairs. No provision has been made for this in our budget, and therefore we need to do an emergency appropriation. The public safety team met with the Fire Chief Pollock, and this is the plan. 21-171, approve adjustments for 2021 Crestwood Lake memberships. This resolution authorizes some financial hardship adjustments for lake memberships this season. 21-172 and also 21-177 are kind of in conjunction with each other, but 21-171. Okay, authorize compliance with civil rights requirements, U.S. Department of Treasury. The borough will be submitting an application to the U.S. Department of Treasury for coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds, which are authorized under the American Rescue Plan. This resolution has a requirement to submit. A special thank you to Alyssa Mero, CFO, for her efforts to prepare this. She and I discussed this this morning. I don't know if Alyssa's on and she wants to speak to it, but during her report, perhaps she could address it if she wanted to. And we also discussed it in 21-177.
Yeah, I'm going to mention it in my report also.
Okay, great.
This is not on there.
Okay, good. And yeah, but I spoke to her this morning. So we're signing some things today, which she will submit tomorrow. Tomorrow's the deadline and we're good to go. 21-173, authorized renewal of 2021-2022 ABC liquor licenses. This resolution renews the consumption and distribution liquor licenses through June 30th, 2022.
Very important.
That-
Very important.
That's right. I expect no one to object on that one, right? 21-174, appoint a full-time administrative assistant, the police department, Lisa Crescente. Diana Bradley has left employment with the borough. We thank her for her service and wish her all the best, and we are happy to welcome Lisa. 21-175, authorized professional service contract threshold increase, Dennis Enright of North NW Financial Group LLC. It's necessary to increase the contract amount with Dennis Enright for services related to the water system, and this resolution will do that. 21-176 is the bill list. I've looked at it. Matt and Amy, I'm sure the two of you looked at it. Okay, great. 21-177, authorized submission of application, which I discussed earlier. Coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds, American Rescue Plan. So the borough is applying to this fund, and the submissions are due tomorrow. And after we sign today, everything will be sent in. We're waiting for 2 more documents. 21-178 and 21-179 can be read together. That's for the 4th of July and the holiday observers to waive the fire permit fee and to waive the special event permit fee. We are excited for the holiday observers, 4th of July festivities, and we're happy to waive their permit fees associated with the food concessions. 21-180, appoint seasonal summer intern, Miles Mortimer. We are happy to welcome him back. He did a great job for us in the fall and the winter, and we look forward to seeing him starting on Monday. 21-181, authorized 2021 Crestwood Lake salaries, supplement number 3. Today, Lake Manager Tom Viscardi requested additional lifeguards and gate people to add to the list to help out as needed, and this will take care of that. So not much on there, but it's important stuff to keep the borough running. Any questions on the consent agenda? Okay, why don't we, so we will start with committee reports. I'm going to go first and get mine out of the way, and then we'll go down the line. Saturday, Amy and I together, we joined the VFW at the Red Barn for the retirement of American flags. It was, I don't know if you're going to speak to about the flags that you got.
Oh, I wasn't going to, but I will.
Yeah, good. I mean, it was really to see, first of all, the VFW, what they do, just, you know, what they've done for us. And so anytime we can show our support, but they retire the flags. It feels a little awkward to burn the flags, but that's the way it's done. And both Amy and I were permitted to participate. We folded up the flags, we threw them in the fire, etc. Huge thanks to former commander of the VFW, Joe Chinichi, and everyone for that event and for everything that they've done for our country. Northern Highlands, it's graduation time for our students here in Allendale. Yesterday, students at Brookside School celebrated their graduation, and tonight our seniors at Northern Highlands will be graduating. A huge congratulations from all of us on your achievement, and I also want to send congratulations to the parents of the graduates. This is a special time in your children's lives as they move on with their futures. Know that you play such an important hand in helping them achieve all of their goals, and congratulations to all. And we have some alumni here of Hillside, Brookside, and Highlands too. So it's something about Allendale and around here, a great institution, Jim, you know, everyone, people don't leave and they stay. And it's a lot of it is because of the education and what they're taught and what's instilled upon them by the teachers.
Although Ari, the best is those who leave and then come back. They
Right.
really appreciate Allendale.
Right. That's right. Yeah, I mean, we're all part of it. I
I'm one
mean,
of those.
yeah, that's right. Whether you never left or you come back, or whether you move here and you say, oh my God, you know, it's a very, very special place. And I think so much of it starts there, you know, starts at the school. So congratulations to the students, congratulations to the parents. Our borough was recently notified that Miss Susan Claus, the Ecology Center Coordinator at Hillside School, was awarded an Environmental Awareness Challenge grant from the Bergen County Utilities Authority in the amount of $999.95 to enhance the education of students about the importance of environmental stewardship. Great job, Ms. Claus, and keep up the good work. I want to thank the holiday observers for the hard work in planning this year's 4th of July celebration here in Allendale. As we return to a bit of normalcy or normal world from COVID, the observers have planned a full day's worth of events, ending with a concert by the community band of Waldwick and fireworks at 9 p.m. For a full rundown of the events and details, please visit holidayobservers.org. 4th of July. Can't wait to see you. And Matt, I don't know if you're going to speak to that.
Yeah, I'll mention it.
Okay. More exciting news, we will be launching our new website by mid-July. The goal of this upgraded website is to create a user-friendly site that is easy to navigate for our residents. Our website is a host to a wealth of information about our town and can be a huge time saver when interacting with our borough. We look forward to this launch, and we want to thank our communications director, John Gill, and webmaster, Tyler Yacarino, for spearheading this effort. Rotary. As you know, we are supporters of the Chamber of Commerce, we're supporters of the Rotary, we're supportive of, you know, all of the groups of Allendale. The Rotary installation dinner will now be held on Wednesday, June 30th at 6 p.m. RSVP to Tyler Yacarino. The cost is $35. The location is Bob Klingen's house in Mawa.
I sent out an email earlier this afternoon, so everybody should have the information.
Good to get the word out. I want to recognize the Allendale Garden Club for their efforts in placing a remembrance stone in honor of Bob Patterson in Veterans Park. Mr. Patterson was a former councilman, a former member of the planning board, a longtime volunteer in town. We have a table named after him as well. Thank you to the Garden Club for helping us all remember Mr. Patterson and his legacy. And lastly, with some sad news, Kenny Kunish lost his battle with cancer. Maybe it was last week. The Kunish family is as close as you get to the first family of Allendale. What they've done for Allendale, what they mean to Allendale. Kenny was a couple years younger than me, but I think we knew him, went to school with him. The whole town grieves with the Kunish family, Chris, Craig, etc. So anyone else can mention if they want to speak, but I just, on behalf of all of us, we grieve with the Kunish family and we send our thoughts and prayers.
Yeah, I'd like to just comment that I did meet with Chris today, and we, talked about Kenny, and we are planning. The borough is helping facilitate a bench near the Kunish Field,
right? So
that all people who are attending the Field 4 games, it'll be in an area where everybody kind of gathers, and it'll be a nice bench there for him for his memory.
Good.
I graduated with Kenny. I've known Kenny since kindergarten, so we lost a good one.
Yeah, we absolutely did.
He was one of the nicest, most kind-hearted people I've ever met.
So that is the end of my report. And now we'll go committee reports. So Councilman O'Connell is not here. So Councilman Sasso, would you like to give your report?
Yes, thank you. So the Land Use Committee has not met since our last council meeting, but we are meeting on Wednesday, June 30th at 8 a.m. Councilman Strouch and I had lunch a few weeks ago, which I think I mentioned. And we would, as a committee, Councilman Strouch being the second, and a very welcome second on the committee. Thank you, Jim. Your knowledge of Allendale history is just invaluable. But we would like a renewed discussion on Chapter 170, our noise ordinance. We believe it's very out of date and needs a little review. Nothing crazy, but we would like to discuss that on Wednesday the 30th. And we'd also like to discuss the rat poison traps, which is a relatively new discussion, but we think it's important. So it's going to be the highlight of my agenda in addition to all the other things we talk about, including construction code and things like that. So I look forward to it on that day. And by the way, the seniors are still graduating. I can hear it out my window.
Thank you. Thank you for that. Thank you for your work. Thank you for your report. Councilwoman Holman, would you like to give your report? No, we can't hear. So
She's still muted. Caller one, so why don't you try call it, so Michelle, just try to unmute caller.
Liz, we're going to try to unmute you. I'm going to go to someone else, but as soon as you're ready, we'll get your report.
She's unmuted now.
Okay, try now.
Can you hear me now?
Yep.
Yes? All right, hold on then.
No, I can't hear you now.
Oh, she just had it.
Wait,
It must have been through your phone.
Yeah, okay. So Liz, we can't hear you. So I don't want to be rude. I just want,
Liz, I would try to sign off the computer and just call in with the phone.
She doesn't hear us, obviously, either.
yeah.
You can just move to someone and just see.
Okay, so
reconnect.
we're gonna come back. So Amy, do you want to go or you want to communicate with her?
Sure, I just really back. She's still in the middle of
Yeah,
her
I
report.
know.
Like, tell her to stop.
I'm trying.
I'm happy to go.
Okay.
Okay, so 220, which is the front building of the big Black Millwork project that we've been working on, where our borough hall is going to be, as well as the 70 units. We're still working towards the closing. There is hopefully an agenda that'll be on the agenda for the county next month. And after that, they are going to be probably demoing by the end of summer or the beginning of fall. We're still receiving bids from a lot of different contractors. And with everything going on with COVID, there is problems with procurement. There's problems with steel. I just heard that Amazon is building buildings everywhere and they're hogging all the steel. So that's going to be a problem. So we have a little bumpy road ahead, but we're still moving forward. And I look forward because it's going to be an amazing project for Allendale when it's all done. Crestwood Lake, our registration is strong. We are in the black. It's financially very, very healthy. The lake was packed today. It was a gorgeous day. Everybody is having a great time. We unfortunately had our first band night canceled because of the rain, but our next one is on the 10th of July. The band is Midlife Crisis, which is a pure Allendale band. They're all, I think 12 or 13 of them, all from Allendale. So we're possibly having it in the band shell. We're looking to have it in the band shell for kind of a soft grand opening. Thanks to Richie and Ray for all the work they've been doing, and everybody's just having a great time at the lake now that all the restrictions are lifted. And thanks to Tom and his crew, we had a little bit of a scare this afternoon where somebody lost their child and the child just wandered off and they had to do like the big chain and this whole big rescue thing. So as usual, the lifeguards acted very professionally under Tom's leadership. So our playground, the phase 1 is done. We actually met with the playground designer today to go over all the different phases. So he's going to be working something up and we're going to present that soon when he is done. So it's going to be actually really beautiful when it's done. I think it's going to be a lot of fun. There was tons of kids playing on it when we were there. It was a gorgeous day. So we look forward to getting the new fence and designing it all a little bit differently. The grandstand is getting all spruced up also for the 4th of July events for the hose, thanks to Holiday Observer Mike Duker, who apparently did a lot of repairs and stuff before. The Holiday Observers have always been great with the grandstand. They always have been out there with paint and supplies and always jazzing it up. So it's a great
unofficial home base.
It really is. It's a great organization. It's amazing. And it's going to be so much fun that we're actually having all the events this year. The 9/11 Memorial, it is our 20-year anniversary. We are still looking for speakers, contacted a couple people today. There is an opportunity to purchase pavers and be a part of our beautiful memorial. We've actually received a lot of requests so far. So if anybody's interested, please get your request in. The forms are on the website and you can be a part of this beautiful memorial. And as according to, regarding the flags that we were talking about at the flag burning, one of the things that I would like to do is just make it beautiful with flags, like a ton of flags. So when we were burning the flags, a lot of the flags were brand new and they were gorgeous flags. So all of a sudden I was just starting glomming all the flags, and then a woman started helping me, and I have this like massive box of like all these flags. So we're going to use them for our ceremony on this year at the, so we'll save a little money. And congrats to all the Northern Highlands grads. It's awesome graduation day, and it's a beautiful day. So doesn't get better than this. So that's it.
Thank you. Yeah, it was comical, not in a, where the whole thing was to retire the flags, and they're just
I'm like, I'm not throwing this good flag in
a
there.
huge pile of flags. And Amy said, no, that one's good, that one's good.
Because people, so it's funny. So I was talking to Todd Griffith about something else, and he was going to go up there, but he said one of the other officers was like, no, a lot of people just throw away perfectly good flags because they don't know what to do with them. They don't want to throw them away, and he feels guilty burning them. I'm like, oh my God, you got to see my trunk. I've got them all in there. I felt the same way. So I think people, use them for ceremonies. One of them, it was like a whole box of brand new ones. They use them for the ceremony. They didn't want to store them. I guess they're not as frugal as we are in Allendale, and they were just throwing them all away. So they're lost our game.
Yeah.
What can I tell you?
So that was good.
Yeah.
Finance committee thanks you.
Exactly.
Right,
I
that's
am the finance
Right,
committee too.
that's right. Councilman O'Toole, would you like?
Mayor, Councilwoman Homan would.
Councilwoman Homan, would you like to try again?
No.
No. Do you know?
She had it before though. Why is
No. Tyler, can you?
I texted her, I suggested that she sign off the computer and just go through the phone,
Okay.
because we heard her for split.
Until she
Hey,
hung up.
Liz, is it written? Do you want to send it to Amy or to me, and one of us would read it? You can think about it. I can come back to you during the regular session. Okay, Councilman O'Toole.
Absolutely. So although we have not met in committee since before our last council meeting, the work of the administration, finance, and HR committee continues. As residents may know already, their tax bills went out yesterday. As a reminder, taxes are due on August 1st. These are estimated taxes, as we've always done this time of year, because the county never seems to have the tax rate struck in time for the August 1st due date. Also this year, the county sent notification to all the towns saying that it would be wise for everyone to send out estimated bills this year. So I guess they were getting ahead of it. Tomorrow, as you mentioned before, we'll be submitting our request for the ARP funds through the local fiscal recovery fund. We've been allotted a total of $704,838. It will be dispersed in two tranches, half this year, half next year. We'll be using a portion of it for revenue loss in 2020 and 2021 due to COVID. The remainder of the funds will be used for water or sewer infrastructure. You may recall that originally we were slated for $161,495. For whatever reason, the amount's been bumped up a little bit. You know me, I'm not one to ever turn away free money. As you mentioned, the holiday observers, we are out going door to door distributing tickets to the July 4th fireworks show at Crestwood. We are also that we ask for anything, and everything that we collect is given back to the community. So once again, we ask for your support to provide our residents with the events which we organize, including the gifts from Santa, the Easter egg hunt, which is called what it is, a massive free candy grab, Halloween poster painting, the costume parade, and the highlight of our year, 4th of July, which goes from the firing of the cannon at 7 o'clock in the morning until the last shell 4th of July night. So with all that being said, we can never do it all by ourselves. Huge debt of gratitude to Ron and the entire DPW for everything that they do to help us make sure that Allendale is ready for the 4th. That's all I got for this evening.
Great, thank you very much.
Thank you.
A good report. Councilman Strouch, would you like to give your report? Mute.
You know, I know that I always follow Matt, and yet I have to scramble to turn my my microphone back on. Thank you, Mayor Bernstein. I'm going to have a short DPW report this meeting. Nothing major has really changed since my last report 2 weeks ago. I guess the only difference is the current crunch for the DPW or for the town in general. Now that Crestwood's open and Memorial Day has successfully passed, July 4th. The grandstands and the fields and Crestwood and, you know, a lot of things that Amy and others mentioned, the DPW intimately involved with the execution of. So what I wanted to focus a little bit on tonight is the borough website, and more particularly the borough newsletter that gets sent out every month. I want to recommend that residents, if they don't already get it, sign up for it, and they can do that by going to the borough website. And all the information in the newsletter is actually on the borough website, but the monthly email newsletter that comes out from the borough is really a nice condensed wealth of knowledge with pertinent things that you need to know. You know, for example, on July 10th, Saturday, July 10th, the Bergen County Utilities Authority, the same people who gave the award to the Allendale student for the environmental award, they're hosting a household hazardous waste collection at Camp Gaw in Mawa on Saturday, July 10th. That's on the borough website. It's also in the newsletter. The following month in August, they're hosting at the Bergen Community College a document shredding, electronics recycling, and tire recycling. This is a great thing if you have any of those items. It's a very efficient operation. You stay in the car, they take it out for you. It's a great way to responsibly dispose of these things. People ask, well, you know, what is household hazardous waste? And the borough, Allendale, uses something called Recycle Coach, Recycle Buddy. Let me just double check that, because I've got it on my phone. So it's just an icon, and it's called Recycle Coach. If you don't already have it, you can get it from the borough website. You can download it. It's a great app. It has a search bar where you type in what you're trying to get rid of, and it tells you how to get rid of it. I used it recently because I was trying to dispose of some smoke detectors, and believe it or not, they're included with the household hazardous waste, which will be collected in July, not with the electronics recycling, which I would have thought. But anyway, so I highly recommend to the residents of Allendale who care about recycling to, you know, use the borough website and the monthly newsletter as a resource. It also has information about the water project, the presentation, the possible sale of our water. Information is always included on that. And I'm going to try to get links posted on it to the old, the 5 presentation that Liz Holman has already put on. I actually went back and watched the first one, and it was incredibly informative, as it was the first time that I attended Liz. So with that, I'm going to end my my report, Ari, and thanks again to you and the entire council and the entire borough employees, staff, and volunteers, the holiday observers, the garden club, and everybody that you mentioned. Because, you know, the more you know what it takes to run this town, the more you appreciate the hundreds of people who put in the time to make it this. So thank you, Ari.
Great, Jim, I couldn't have said that better. And you know, I mean, you've been there, you've led many of those groups, you've been a part of those groups. I mean, you said it very eloquently. 7:59. So we'll come back to Councilwoman Holman's report at the regular session. I will take now a motion to adjourn the work session.
So moved, Strouch.
Thanks. All in favor?
Aye.
Okay, everyone, 1 minute.
I think they should close their computer down and call in, don't you think, Tyler?
I mean, it looks like the audio is muted, so as long as it stays muted on her computer, then it should be.
So we'll find out when she does the roll call. We'll be able to see whether or not we can hear. Okay, 8 o'clock. The time is now 8 PM. This is the June 24th, 2021 regular session of the Allendale Mayor and Council. Welcome to everyone who's joining us via video and teleconference. At this time, I ask the public to please mute their devices so as not to distract from the business of the meeting. There'll be 2 opportunities during this meeting for the public to speak. We will advise you at the appropriate times. Michelle, please read the Open Public Meetings Act announcement.
Sure. In compliance with the Open Public Meetings Act, the notice requirements have been satisfied. The meeting dates for the year are confirmed at the annual meeting, are posted on the public bulletin board in the municipal building and on the borough website, published in the record within the first 10 days in the new year, and copies are sent to the Ridgewood News and Star Ledger.
Great, thank you. If you could all please join me to rise to salute the flag. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America, and to the
America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
This is on.
Liz, we can hear you.
Hey, are you guys making fun of me?
We hear you.
A little bit.
You were like a delayed.
Lag, a little
Oh, sorry.
Lou Gehrig in Yankee Stadium. Michelle, please conduct the roll call.
Sure. Councilwoman Homan,
Oh, yeah, I'm on.
Uh-oh.
Councilman O'Connell, absent. Councilman O'Toole,
Here.
Councilman Sasso,
Here.
Councilman Strouch,
Here.
Councilwoman Wilsinski,
Here.
and Mayor Bernstein.
Here, thank you. Okay, approval of minutes. So do we need, since Councilman Sasso is going to abstain, we can do it all at once and he can just abstain during that?
You can just indicate the ones he's abstaining on.
Okay, so I'm going to request a motion to approve the minutes for the following meetings. March 25th, work session, March 25th, regular session, March 25th, closed session that are not available for release at this time, April 15th, 2021 work session, April 15th, regular session, April 29th, work session, and April 29th, regular session. I would request a motion to approve those minutes.
So moved.
Great,
Second.
thank you. So Michelle, please conduct a roll call, and Councilman Sasso abstained from the April meetings.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell, absent. Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
I'll abstain for the April meetings and vote yes on the balance.
okay. Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Public comment on agenda items only. So I open the floor to the public for agenda items only. Not seeing or hearing anyone, I will close the meeting to the public for that portion. Consent agenda, which I went through in detail in the work session. I would request a motion to approve the consent agenda.
So moved.
Thank you, Matt. Second.
Second.
Thank you, Steve. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell is absent. Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Yes.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great. Any unfinished business? New business. Under new business, we have 21-181, authorized 2021 Crestwood Lake Salary Supplement 3. So I would request a motion to approve Resolution 21-181. And for this one, Councilman Sasso, you're going to abstain.
So moved.
Thank you, Amy. Second?
Holman.
Thank you, Liz. Michelle, please conduct a roll call.
Sure. Councilwoman Homan,
Yes.
Councilman O'Connell, absent. Councilman O'Toole,
Yes.
Councilman Sasso,
Abstain.
Councilman Strouch,
Yes.
and Councilwoman Wilsinski.
Yes.
Great, thank you. Committee reports and comments. Liz, hopefully we can hear you now. So you're up.
We're on. So the water committee continues to be very busy. And just as a reminder to all the residents and to all of us on the council to remind other residents, the water committee has been sharing during our multiple water committee meetings over the past year that selling the Allendale water system has been one of the options that we have been evaluating for the future of Allendale water. And on Wednesday, May 16th, the fifth virtual water community meeting was held to provide an overview as to the factors that make the Suez offer. And Suez was determined to be the highest responsible bidder. They also are our current operator and management company, and they have offered to purchase the system. And we went over kind of some of the basic components for residents to consider. And all residents really do need to become informed of the challenges that Allendale Water faces in the future, as well as the offer of $18 million for Suez to purchase the water system. So this will be a referendum question in November at the November general election. I encourage people to please visit the Allendale website to find links to the virtual water meetings. They also can feel free to email myself for questions or to set up a conversation. I have spoken with a few residents and I've received a number of really great emails. I hope that there will be heightened interest and lots of conversation. As an update for the council and the community, the next steps will be clarifying and solidifying the understanding of that bid proposal into a legal purchase agreement. And then that purchase agreement will be presented to the council as an ordinance. And right now that timing is for that to happen at our next meeting. That'll be the first reading. And just so everybody, feels comfortable about this, the purchase and sale agreement itself will not be signed until after we have a few more public meetings, because we do want to allow for public, input and questionings, because that benefits both Suez and the borough. We want together that if this is to be approved, for this to be a transaction that is well understood. And again, I'll remind everybody that no sale can occur. Right now, we have an $18 million offer unless a referendum question on the sale passes in the November 2021 election. This is all work that is done to make sure the public has the opportunity to clearly understand this offer from Suez. So I will then repeat myself and say, please get informed, go to see the 1 through 5 meetings. They're titled now as kind of like what some of the content is. And we will be holding another meeting in July, either the 14th or I'm not sure exactly what date, but we will make sure that it's recorded to ensure that if people are on vacation, they can, watch it at their convenience. We will also look to hold some meetings in person as well. But there'll be information sent via constant contacts. As far as sewer activity, thank you to Ron Kistner and Lane Simon for coordinating the maintenance on the sewer system. We generally look to have 1/3 of the system looked at, cleaned through the pipes, 1/3 each year. With COVID in 2020, that 1/3 was not an option. So we are currently having Northwest Bergen Sewer do 1/3, and then we'll have them do that second third, that would be the 2021, in the fall time, so that we will be back, on schedule. The committee is also reviewing other municipal sewer interconnect agreements. As I'd spoken in one previous council meeting, we want to make sure that our agreements with Ramsey and Saddle River are appropriate. The other last thing, I just wanted to alert the mayor and council that I have a couple little irons in the fire. Ari and I are part of the Allendale Senior Housing Committee, and the senior housing units, they're on Seabeck Court, they're low and moderate senior housing, and they are, in need of some repairs and upkeep. And so we're looking at different ways that financially they can be supported, because it's challenging. And so I have shared the paperwork on the lease agreements portion with our municipal attorney, Ray Wiff, and he'll be looking at seeing if there's something we may be able to do with the current lease payments to the borough, because they amount to about $16,000 a year currently. However, if our senior housing units are in need of repair, that $16,000 really could be better spent as direct maintenance and repair items in those senior housing units, since they're a part of our obligations. So Ray's going to be looking at that. Thank you, Ray, very much. And there's a couple other items that the Allendale Senior Housing team is looking at to try to just see if there's some fiscal, improvements we can do. So thanks so much, and thank you for listening to me via the phone audio.
We're glad that we worked that out. I do want to just respond to one thing that you said about the water meetings. You've done such a wonderful job of getting the word out to the residents. The fifth one, I think they just, what you covered, and you could even go back and could say, as we discussed in number 3 or number 2. So I know you should be, and we've all told you, you should be very, and you can be very proud of all of your work, on the committee and for the borough.
Everyone's work, not just me.
I know it takes a village and it takes a team, but you've done, the heavy lifting. And I shared with you a resident after the fifth one called me up, and he was not on social media. He was a little late to the discussion. And I was able to say, you can go back onto the borough website and watch number 1, and you can watch it through number 5. And, you've really put it out there. And so on behalf of all of us, although, anyone can speak to it, I want to thank you. Great job.
Thanks. And John Gill has done a great job of, I record them, but I send off my jump drive to him, and he's made it much more user friendly and renamed them so that they have a little bit, are a little bit easier to find and to know what that content is. So thanks, everyone.
Thank you. Staff reports. Ray?
Mayor, in a relative sense, it has been quieter in the last 2 weeks, and I think most of the
Oh,
matters.
I'll get you busy.
I know. I got that big binder that you were referring to before. So I get to say the last 2 weeks have been quieter. We'll look forward to the next 2. Nothing further.
Great. Thank you. Michelle?
Thank you. We're just, we're busy helping residents, still processing compost permits, dog licenses, Oprah requests. But we're happy to help the residents.
Okay, great. Thank you. And Ron is not on, and I don't think Liz is on, right? No. Okay. So as we near the close, public comment open to the floor to the public on any matter. Not seeing anyone. Jim?
Can I make an addition to my DPW report?
Absolutely.
No, thank you, Ari. I forgot to mention.
I'm sorry, Jim. Hold on one sec. Just procedurally, I'm not the public. I opened it. I didn't see anyone. I'm closing to the public now. Postscript to Jim. Go ahead.
I had mentioned that the grandstands was getting a bit of a rehab, and I forgot to mention that Allendale resident and Holiday Observer Mike Duker, I wanted to give him a special shout out because he did an amazing job repairing several areas of the grandstand that were in need of some skilled carpentry. Mike happens to be a neighbor of mine, so I know him personally, and he is skilled at everything he does. So when he takes carpentry, he does a good job. And not to diminish anybody else who added their talents to the restoration of the grandstand, but I did want to give Mike a shout out because he kind of went above and beyond this year with the wood that needed to be replaced before the painting was done. And of course, he started painting before the painters even arrived because, well, that's just Mike. He's driven. So anyway, thank you again, Ari.
Great. Thank you so much, Jim. As we reach the end, I would request a motion to adjourn the regular session.
So moved.
Second.
Holman is second.
Councilwoman Holman second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Great.
Bye.
Thank you, everyone. Everyone have a great night.
All right. Good night, everyone.